We're going to talk about the assignment that you're doing in Module 5 for charting and analysis. There's 3 parts or 3 graphs charts to this assignment. There's the pie chart, the bar graph, and the line graph. This is your assignment. The assignment that you're going to be doing is covering motor vehicle accident. In this video, I'm going to do the same thing with a different set of data. It's going to be on pneumonia and influenza. I want to review this. This information is used on all the charts. The pink information and the purple information are used in the pie chart. The green information is used in the bar chart. The pink information and the yellow information is used in the line graph. I've also added in the total deaths for Bexar County because to calculate any statistics, if you look in the net gross death rates and let's see the other rates that we calculate for death, hospital death rate, you'll notice it happens over the number of discharges for a period. Well, we don't have a hospital, so the only thing we have to calculate or compare it to is the total deaths for Bexar County. So you'll have to just think of that as in place of the total for the period. And that would be this line right here. All the information was obtained from a particular website, the Texas Health Data, from the Texas Department of Health Services, and it is in ICD-10. Where I'd like to start is with our example. Remember, the examples over pneumonia, the assignments over motor vehicle accidents. I put the example in the same format. I'm going to show you first by starting off the pie chart. Pie chart, I want you to put in the pink. These are the causes of death from this sheet. And then I copied over the total. And this is what it should look like. I'm going to show you how I got there. I'm on the pie chart tab, and I've got my data already copied over, calculated the percentage because I wanted to see if it can alert me to anything that might not be significant to the chart. And if it's not significant, then I can take it out. How I calculated the percentage was I took the number times pneumonia due to other unspecified organisms happened in the period 2004 to 2014 and divided it by the total. And that's how you get the percent. Time for our pie chart. I'm going to the Excel menu, insert, pie. Remember, do not use the 3D one because it can distort. Now you notice there's one piece of pie that's listed here, but you can't see it. Let's make this a little bit bigger, and I still can't see it. So I thought it was going to be statistically insignificant. I'm going to go ahead and take that one out. I don't think it is. When you do things like that, but it's in your data, you make sure that in your analysis you explain why you took it out. So here's our information. I'll start off with the title for the pie chart. I don't think this is self-explanatory, so I'm going to add something to it. I'm going to retitle it. I was going to say, infectious diseases. Alright, that looks good. Now, how can we make our pie look a little bit better? Let's go to add data labels. You can add numbers. See the 5% still showing up. So that means while we deleted it from our pie, it didn't take it out of the data source. So how you get to the data source is right click and select data, and we're going to go ahead and remove the viral pneumonia. Okay, now it's really gone. Okay, so now by taking that out, we have the 3 remaining: pneumonia due to other unspecified, or as we call in coding classification, NOS. You might hear me say that. Bacteria pneumonia and influenza. I want to add some labels. So I'm going to play around by formatting and adding labels. So if you right click, data labels pops up, and then you have these information. When you do call outs, it's important that they not be on top of each other, and you can edit them so the lines are very clear. Well, this one started off being in the middle, but for some reason it's not giving it a line. If you wanted them all out, So formatting the pie chart is a little bit more different when I've learned, but it's not incredibly difficult. We can format data series and change the angles of things. Format the data series is your option on that. You can do many things, just make sure that it doesn't violate any of the laws against it. Make sure your lines are clear, and you can change data tables to the ones given, the examples, pretty clear, which pie belongs to which slide. So this is our pie example. We're pretty clear what belongs where. It doesn't conflict with the title or the legend. We don't need a legend because everything's spelled out. How much piece of each pie is. Bacterial is 5% and influenza is 5%, so that leaves overwhelming cause of death for 2004 to 2014 at 90% for pneumonia NOS. So you're going to want to look at this and expound on that for your analysis, and then ask your 5 different questions for Socratic questions. How would you want to investigate? What kind of more information would you want to find out? Were there a particular type of pneumonia for that year? Was it followed as a result of flu? Ask more detailed information to see if there was lab tests to confirm the type of pneumonia or if there was not. Try to ask those questions that are investigated and find out why pneumonia was the leading cause of death for infectious diseases in the period of 2004 to 2014. So we're going to do similar things for the bar graph and cut and pasted the information. Now I'm going to show you how I made this graph. I'm going to put this one off to the side. Now highlight these, insert, and we're doing a bar graph for this one. Now the data came from here. We're doing a bar graph. So for the bar graph, we're going to use the years and we're going to use this line right here, the total for pneumonia and influenza, all pneumonia types and influenza. I've already cut and pasted that here. Tried it a couple different ways and I think I like this one, so I'm just going to keep that one. Now I'm going to copy or highlight this information and insert the bar graph. Now if you look at the two, they look quite a bit different. So how do we get from here to here? Well, the first thing, it graphed the years. I'm not sure why, but let's go ahead and delete those. I just highlighted them. I'll show you that to you again. I clicked on one, it clicked on them all. If you do that once, and then you can hit delete, and it takes them out. Next thing you'll notice is that it lists 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on instead of the years. I'm not sure why it did that, but let's change that to select the data once more. You're going to highlight the column, the horizontal column with 1, 2, 3, 4. Right click, lost my highlight, got it back, right click, and select data. I'm going to go edit, and I want that to be my columns, not the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So click that and it changes it. So that's good. Now I think if we can add some more information up here, we may not need this right here because we only got one bar. If we had 2 bars or more, that's when you need a legend. So we're going to take that out. I'm going to add the information that we need for the title. Remember, when you stretch, you want to make sure you stretch it appropriately, otherwise it can emphasize things that are not there. So this is the total for infectious diseases, pneumonia and influenza. Now if you think the second half of the statistic is for the period, so we want to put that in our title. 2004, 2000. And I think if we make it a little bit bigger. Now if you look, what's the difference? Something I thought about that might add some more clarity to it is labeling the axes. What does this column indicate? What does the bottom horizontal column indicate? I added the chart option to format chart area. And you just got to look for the option to add that. So if you click on chart elements and you add axis titles, You can go and add number, Bexar County, and you can add Bexar County in the title as well. Any information that can clarify or add detail is important. And this would be, years or period, 2004 to 2014. Give some details and information. So you can look at this information and then make your analysis. You can see there was a spike in 2009. Maybe look at the flu deaths related to 2009, and we can see that the flu deaths did spike in 2009 and 2011, but the overall deaths in 2011 went down. There was something in particular about 2009. Maybe in that year there was more deaths from the pneumonia that resulted from the flu. That was a particularly bad year where people developed a lot of complications from the flu, or there was a particular strain of pneumonia going around that infected a population in Bexar County that ended up in untimely deaths. So this is how it should look, and then we could add our analysis down here. You can add the analysis within the charts by inserting it right below. You just need to make sure that you give some details, some thought to why it increased, and then ask your 5 questions. So you can do that by easily highlighting a couple cells, formatting them. So I did that by highlighting, right click, format, wrap the text, merge, and then I can type in my analysis, and then I want to start typing question 1 and so forth. You can type it all in one box, or you can list them all out like that. So let's go on to the line graph. The line graph is from the information in yellow. Again, this is our example. So I copied that information over into here, and I came up with this. Let's look at how I got there. Insert, line. For some reason, it wanted to graph the years, and that distorts the information quite a bit. So we're going to take that out. I just highlighted it, and I deleted it. Now I have some other information. When we talked about the pie graph, some of the information we had was not statistically significant. So let's make that a little bit bigger so we can see that. By having it on there, it distorts your view on it. Viral pneumonia. Let's look at our viral pneumonia. Those are all 1s and 2s. That's not statistically here or there. So let's take that one out. Because what that's going to do is cause some problems. Bacterial pneumonia. That one's relatively low, and influenza is relatively low. For now, we'll keep them in there. We're going to go ahead and change this data right here, the horizontal line, to the years to make it more meaningful. And we did that same way we did it in the other graphs. By selecting it, right-clicking, and changing the data series information. Select data, edit, highlighting the years, clicking OK, and then clicking OK. Another thing that made it important is we changed our information, our chart title. And you can say for Bexar County, for Bexar County 2004 to 2014. The years are pretty self-explanatory. You could add years, or you could add for the period, and then you could also put the same column that we did in the bar for the number of pneumonia and deaths for Bexar County. What's important again is to add and not forget your analysis. I just highlighted some cells, format cell, and wrap and merge. Okay, I'll start that again. I'm going to format cells, right click, format cells, wrap, and merge. Okay, I'm going to type in analysis, and we can have some words, and then we can write our questions, and then we can have question 1 and 2 and 3. And I'll show you what the wrap does. It wraps everything around. So let's look at our example video again. We talked about pneumonia. We did the years 2004 to 2014. Those are the same years that we're going to do in our assignment example for motor vehicles. The pie chart included the pink and the purple highlights. The bar graph included just the green, and the line graph included these, the pink and the yellow. So start off with putting our data where it belongs on each graph, thinking about the information, how you wanted to see it displayed. Make sure it's not distorted. Make sure you follow all those conventions. If you have any questions, please call me. Please email me. Please ask for a Collaborate Ultra or schedule some office time. And please don't wait till the last minute. Thank you.